morning, Math 8. I cannot believe you're entering our last full week of classes, and really our last week where we're doing anything really thought-provoking. So here we go, our last few lives together, our last few lessons together. So we're going to keep looking at two-way tables. We're going to look at how to fill them in, and then we're going to look at how to make them, because I am going to, as promised, give you a little questionnaire to answer, as well as your actual form today. So please make sure you do your form and do it on time, because, well, we need that data to do our class Friday. That'll be our Friday class. So anyway, let's get down to business. Working on a two-way table, it's important to know if you're only given some of the numbers, like if I know that 5 kids play a sport and play an instrument, and I know that there were 16 total kids who play a sport, I can figure out this one right here, because I know that 5 of the kids who play sports also play an instrument, and there's 16 of them in total. So this box here would be 16 minus 5, which is 11. And I'd put that in bold, but the whole thing's already in bold, so I guess I'll just unbold the rest of it, or put in a scary math symbol. Okay, so I got that one. And really, if you have 2 out of 3 things in a row or a column, you can get the last one. So now I can get this one, or I could have gotten this one as well. So I know that if there's, if there are 25 total students that I surveyed, or that someone surveyed, and 16 of them play a sport, I know that here, I must know that 25 minus 16 of them don't play a sport, which means that a total of 9 kids do not play a sport. Okay, and then I can also figure out this one, because I now know the 11. So I can think, all right, well, if the kids who do not play an instrument, I know that 11 of them play a sport, and there's 15 kids total who don't play an instrument. So this row here has to be 15 minus 11 to get me 4 kids don't play an instrument or a sport. That's just, neither of those things are their choosings. And then I should be able to figure out everything else in my table as well. So I'll figure out this total here. So if I know there's 25 total kids, and 15 of them don't play an instrument, that means that 25 minus 15 of them have to play an instrument, which gets me 10 kids who play an instrument total. And this is a lot of subtraction. I think I've done it differently. Let's go back and do it differently, actually. Let's figure out this one. That's still the right answer, but... So here, I know that 9 students don't play a sport. And of those 9, 4 of them also don't play an instrument. So that means that 9 minus 4 of those kids who do not play an instrument, or do not play a sport, play an instrument. So that means that 5 kids, there are 5 kids who play an instrument but do not play a sport, play sports. So down here, my total, I know that if 5 kids who play instruments play sports and 5 kids who play instruments don't play sports, that means that 5 plus 5 gives me 10, which is what I got before. But doing all subtraction problems is boring. And sometimes you don't need to do subtraction problems. I don't want you getting in the habit of you just subtract numbers in a table. You don't think about what's there. Okay? So you can figure out this next one as well. Try to do it on your own. I'll say to pause and figure it out. And in our lives tomorrow, I guess we can just actually do it together. But pause and try to figure out what would those blanks in the table be. Okay, so let's think. So I know that, this is a row where I've got 2 things already. I know that kids who prefer blue cheese to ranch, so 10 of those kids eat spicy food, and 2 of those kids do not eat spicy food. This is all the blue cheese row. So there's in total 10 plus 2 students who prefer blue cheese. So 10 plus 2 gets me 12, and I really should have had a neither in here, because some people really hate both of those things. No, whatever. So I know that 10 plus 2 equals 12 students who prefer blue cheese to ranch. And then I can figure out my blue column now. I can figure out how many total students I surveyed here. Because I know that 20 of the students I surveyed prefer ranch. And 12 of the students I surveyed prefer blue cheese. So I know 20 plus 12 gives me 32 total students surveyed, or people surveyed, whoever they were. Or maybe Buffalo Wild Wings did this survey or something, I don't know. Whoever knows. If only you guys knew how many math problems were influenced by things I'd done in the previous week. So, we can do a couple more. Let's see, I can do this one right here, or this one up here. I'm going to do this one, I guess. So, I know that in total there are 32 people I surveyed, and 26 of them eat spicy food. So that means that 32 minus 26 of them do not eat spicy food, which gets me 6 total people do not eat spicy food. And we should be noticing a pattern, like the bigger numbers occur down bottom. Like, okay, not necessarily, but 26 is bigger than 10, because it's a total. 6 is bigger than 2, because that's a total. And 32 is larger than 12 or 20. And 12 is bigger than 10 and 2, because like a sum is bigger than its parts. So just make sure you're not getting like bigger numbers in here than you do down in the same total row and column. Or, yeah. So I can now figure out the upper 2 columns. I know that, okay, so if 26 people eat spicy food and 10 of them prefer blue cheese, I can subtract to figure out how many of those 26 prefer ranch over blue cheese. And then here I can say, all right, I can do a couple different things. I can either do 6 minus 2 or 20 minus 16 to get 4. And it's really good to check yourself, like, oh, no matter which subtraction I do, I get the same answer. That's how you know, like, you got it right. It's like when you do a Sudoku puzzle. If the last number, like, if that last number works, like, in every situation, like, oh yeah, everything tells me this is the right number to go in my last place, then you know you're done. So we're going to focus on today is really taking real data and making a two-way table from that. So I'm just going to briefly like transition the video so I have more room to work with. We're going to take a table and we're going to make a two-way table out of it like this. And we're going to just, because we're going to use that with our data that I'm giving you guys all and that we're going to do a survey about. So yeah, this will be good practice for that. Okay, so here I made up a survey and I made up some imaginary participants and I gave them 2 questions. And you'll notice I asked them, question 1 has either yes or no answer. There is no question 1. I made it up. Like, don't be like, oh, we got yes, we got it right, or we got no, we got it wrong. Like, no, I just made up a question. And the second thing is which class are you in? So I had Core 4, Core 5, and Core 6. Now you'll notice we've never had a two-way table, I don't think, with like more than 1 or more than 2 options. And it's really not different, it's just there's just more things in the table. But the math still works out the same. So I'm going to go ahead and when I'm making my two-way table, I'm going to first like figure out like my totals. So hold on, let me get a text box if I can. I don't know if I can. I'm bad at this. Insert image, no. Link, no. Maybe I won't insert a text box. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to like color code it by like how many kids said yes and no to start out with. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color all the yeses. I want to color them green. That's a nice. Green's a nice yes color. Oh wait, no, I'm not because green is Core 5's color. So I'm going to give yes orange. I'll do the algebra colors, orange and red. So yes is orange. And I'm going to make no red because that's Core 1's color. And I don't need them right now. Okay, so there's that. And then I'll make all the no's red. And I'm just doing this so I can count really quickly. because like I'm gonna have a lot more data to work with when I give you guys your surveys. So I mean, you're gonna have more data to work with. So you have your surveys. So it'll be easy if it's color coded. You can just zip through and say, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 5 total no's. So I'm gonna write that down here. There were no equals 5. There were 5 no's. And yes equals, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There were 10 yeses. And the total students must be 15 then. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Awkward. Okay, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's 6 no's, just kidding. Okay, 16 total students. Good counting, Mr. Roboto. A plus. So then I'm gonna color my cores. Core 4 is green? Oh gosh, no, you're yellow. Oh, I can't do yellow. I'll make it a dark yellow. That's terrible. Oh, maybe I'll just highlight it. I'll just give it a yellow highlight. That'll be nice. That looks bad. I'll just give you brown. No, it's too much like orange. This is too much work. Okay, I'm gonna give you pink. Because, yeah. You guys are always fighting over my pink markers anyway, in your class especially. Give you guys pink. You know who you are. Most of you are in the survey. Okay, so core 4 is pink. Core 5 is green. That'll be fine. Core 5 is green. Nice dark green. See, that shows up. And it's just good, like, organizing for you. Like, if I gave you this on a Google Doc, like, counting it is, like, you could, in theory, count all these, like, different entrants. It's easy to color code, do the organizing work ahead of time, and then count later. So 6 was blue. Pretty sure 6 was blue. Yeah, you were. Okay. So then I'm going to count how many were in each core. So core 4 equals, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Core 5 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Core 6 equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's pretty representative anyway. Core 4 is the biggest class. Core 6 is the smallest class. That's pretty reasonable. So, we're going to take what we know, and we're going to figure out how to build a two-way table off of this. So I'm going to start with my total columns. Now I'm going to color code this the same way. I'm going to make core 4 pink, apparently. I'm going to make core 5, and this is just so I don't get lost. Core 5 is going to be green. And then core 6 is going to be blue. So core 4's total was 7. I knew there were 7 kids total in core 4. And core 5, there was 5. And core 6, there was 4. So I know my totals. And in total, there were 16 students. I'm just going to leave that blank. And then the total yeses was 10. My total no's was 6. So notice, 10 and 6 gives us 16. I don't really have to do all my counting. If I had 2 from each row, I could have figured it out. And I could have been like, all right, well, I have 12 kids in cores 4 and 5 and 16 total kids, so it has to have been 4 from core 6. Just logically thinking about it. But this isn't really enough to fill in my entire table. I need to do a little bit more to fill it in. Yeah, I might be able, with some advanced calculus, I could probably figure it out, but like I'm not gonna do that. So, let's look back and we're gonna see how many kids from core 4 said yes. So how many pink kids said yes? So let's see, pink, I got 1 yes, 2 yes, 3 yeses. I got 3 yeses. And that means I must have 4 no's. And if I look back, I can find, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 no's from core 4. So I can sort of accelerate things by only counting the yeses, because I know how to work the table. So core 5, how many yeses did I have in core 5? Let's see, I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 yeses in core 5. 4. So that means I had 1 no. And then in core 6, I had 1, 2, 3 yeses and 1 no. So that's my two-way table. I have just made a two-way table from a set of data, which is very nice because, because now I know I can do it. So your exit slip today is going to be something else in addition to this. There will pretty much just be another table down below and another two-way table to create off of that. In fact, I'm just going to copy and paste this and give you a new version of this to do with new questions, and I'll probably make it no student names. I'll just give letters. But it'll be a Google Sheet for this, and then just a Google form otherwise. Oops. So it'll be hopefully very similar and hopefully very doable, because we will need this to do our last little bit of math for the year, and our last little project. So hopefully the first part of the video went well, and that you were successful in completing it. So yeah, I'll change the questions down here, and your assignment will be to fill in the bottom of the form on your own copy. Fill in the next page and complete the form with the chosen questionnaire questions. So I picked a few. I couldn't do all of them. Some of them are really good. I love the ones that were videos and video games and stuff like that. The only problem with those is there's just too many options to choose from. There'd be way too many different things to pick from, and it just wouldn't make for good data in this project. So it'd have to be more genre-based. So I had to sort of generalize some of the questions, and some of them, if there weren't good general questions, I just changed. But there are some really good options, and I took some of my own questions and some of yours. So hopefully that gives us some good data to make tables with, and closes out the year in a nice low-key way. Okay, so complete this page, complete the form, and have a lovely day.